So I had this random thought recently that I wanted to get on here. I've really never heard anybody say this. In fact, I typically hear people have quite the opposite opinion as me on this. So I wanted to just get this out there. And I want to be clear. I am a big fan of the fight's over, shake hands, admit you lost, tell, if you won, you tell the other guy good fight, yada yada, right? But to me, there are certain things that people should be held accountable for. Like, if you're acting out of pocket during the press conferences or the weigh-in or whatever, and you're getting crazy, or you're saying super disrespectful things about the other guy, or you're being aggressive or disrespectful to the interviewer, and, you fucking insinuating this guy could beat me. What the fuck are you know what I mean? Get this fucking dude out of here. This dude shouldn't even be interviewing me. How come nobody ever has to stand on what they say in boxing? It's like, it's okay for you to say whatever the fuck you want, and you don't have to stand on nothing you say. So, like, for example, I seen a video recently where Canelo, I saw this video a while ago, but I saw it kind of pieced together after the fact now. Canelo, and he said this before. He said this about Demetrius Andrade. He said this about Benavidez, I believe. And then he said it about Terrence Crawford recently. You haven't fought nobody. You haven't fought nobody. And, I'm on a different level. And when you fight me, you're going to see it's different. And you haven't fought anybody at this level, blah, blah, blah. And Crawford was kind of saying to him, when I fuck you up, are you going to be a nobody too? Right? And I'm not trying to shit on Canelo, because I don't hate Canelo or anything like that. I'm not like a giant Canelo hater or anything like that. So that's not what this is about. But I'm just using that as an example. How come nobody ever says anything to him about that afterwards? How come nobody says, you said Crawford didn't fight anybody, but he beat you now? You know what I'm saying? What do you have to say for that? And any time that anybody ever brings up, it could be the other fighter, right? Like, somebody could have said, you're a pussy and you would never be able to beat me, or like use Bernard Hopkins as an example, right? Said he would never let a white boy beat him, and then Joe Smith knocked him out the ring. Darrell said he would never let a white boy beat him, and then Caleb Plant knocked him the fuck out, right? But then when Caleb Plant starts digging like this, that's not okay, right? But it's okay to say that a white boy can't beat you in a fight, and then you get laid out by a white boy. And if Caleb Plant turns around and says, what happened? I thought you couldn't get beat by a white boy. He's wrong for saying that. And this is not a race thing at all. I'm just using that as an example. Caleb Plant's not wrong because he's white. It's not bad to say that because they're black. I think the statement is retarded. To say that anybody can't beat you up because of their race is absolutely fucking retarded. There's somebody out there of every race and creed, or whatever the case is, that could beat me in a fight. So for me to turn around and say you can't beat me because you're black, or you can't beat me because you're Mexican, or you can't beat me because you're Polish or you're Russian, it's retarded. There's somebody out there in one of those nationalities or colors or whatever that could beat me. So to me, just saying it is dumb, but I'm just trying to understand why these fighters are never, ever, ever held, especially when these fights are pay-per-views, right? Like, people are spending their hard-earned money and taking their time out to stay up late on whatever night it is till 1 o'clock in the morning and paying $75 to watch these fights. And meanwhile, they basically just got fucking duped. And this guy just said all this shit. And, Canelo, you never beat anybody. Oh, well, if I beat you, are you a nobody either? Or I could never, I would never lose to a white boy, and then you get knocked the fuck out by a white boy. But if he brings that up, oh, well, that's in the past. Now, fuck that, bro. Like, fuck that. You said that you would never lose to a white boy, and a white boy knocked you out of the ring, a white boy knocked you fucking unconscious. What do you have to say for your dumb statement that you said now? And it doesn't have to be presented like that, right? Like, you don't have to be a dickhead about it. But you could kind of go on to show somebody, like, hey, you were a little out of pocket with that statement, and I think you were wrong. You know what I mean? You said a white boy, you would never lose to a white boy, and he He just did a pretty good number on you, you know? So, I don't know. I just don't really understand why boxers never seem to have to stand on what they say. Like, we want some of these other people to be held so accountable for the things that they say and shit. But these fighters that are, you know, fighting these fights and people are staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning and paying $75 to watch a fight. None of these fighters really ever have to stand on anything that they say. And if you ever try to make them stand on anything that they say, another example is I seen Sean Zattel, who I love, very knowledgeable, very objective analyst. And I should have known better than clicking on the video. I clicked on the video because it was Sean Zattel, but I shouldn't have clicked on the video because it had Charlo in it, and to me, the Charlos are just real clowns. And Charlo started flipping out on him because Sean Zattel stated a fact. And he's like, you haven't defended your belt in X amount of years. He's like, oh, they took my belt from me. And I don't think Sean was trying to say that they're right for taking his belt. I think what Sean was trying to say is that's the way boxing is, bro. And if you don't defend your belt for X amount of years, they're going to take the belt away from you. It doesn't really matter, who it is. I don't think they're prejudiced against you or biased against you or racist against you. They just took the belt away because you didn't defend it for 3 years or 4 years. And he started flipping out. You don't know what the fuck you talking. I mean, bro, this is a fact. He did nothing but state a fact. So, I don't know, man. It's just super weird to me that these guys just get to run their fucking mouths and say whatever the hell they want, and then they're never held accountable for anything that they say. So, start paying attention to that shit. Maybe, there's got to be some kind of way that some of these guys, not everything. I'm not saying, of course you think you're going to win, right? You can't fucking beat me. I'm going to fuck you up. I'm not saying that once that guy loses that the other guy has to come up to him and be like, what happened? I thought you were going to fuck me up. Nah, shake the dude's hand. Respect for getting in there. Great fight. You're a tough dude. You're a warrior. Whatever it is, cool. I'm all for that. I'm talking about the out-of-pocket comments that people make. Why is nobody ever held accountable for these out-of-pocket comments that they make? I would like to see that start happening. Peace.